guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a minute since I have posted anything to my channel because I have been going through the ringer with this pregnancy. If you didn't know I was pregnant, now you know. My due date is actually in 2 days, May 28th. So now that I'm at the tail end of this whole experience, I wanted to share it with you guys. Because I know when I was trying to get pregnant, and then when I finally found out I was pregnant and all the things I was going through, I definitely tried to do some research here on YouTube, finding out other women's stories and how they were dealing with their pregnancy symptoms. So I consider my pregnancy experience a little bit different than most people's that I've seen on social media. Everybody really talks about how amazing it is, the best time of your life. Anyway, if you want to know my pregnancy experience, and at the end of this video I'm going to give you a tour of Adelaide's nursery, that's going to be her name, Adelaide, then keep on watching. So Jeff and I started trying to have a baby back in August, and then I found out I was pregnant in late September. So it only took us about a month for that big fat positive, and I attribute that all to this audiobook I was listening to on Audible called The Impatient Woman's Guide to Getting Pregnant, because I am very impatient, especially with my career choice. It's not like I can just get pregnant whenever. Sometimes, and this is going to sound really bad, but sometimes pregnancy can be inconvenient. So I was one of those people that wanted to make sure that I was pregnant during a certain time of the year so it wouldn't affect my life too dramatically, even though, you know, having a baby is, you know, pretty life-changing. But the book definitely broke down ways to minimize having like a surprise pregnancy rather than having it planned. So our pregnancy was 100% planned. I don't know if I can leave a link to the book down below, but I'll try. Once again, it's called The Impatient Woman's Guide to Getting Pregnant, and it basically is an audiobook. I think it's sold in paper copy too, but it's basically an audiobook that talks about busy women, especially women that are currently in careers, basically how to plan your pregnancy down to a T, and maybe you're having difficulties getting pregnant. It also gives you step-by-step on what you can try to do in order to get pregnant at home rather than having to go to a fertility clinic. You know, that's I think in the book that's the last thing. That's the last step. If you've tried everything else at home, then the last thing is to go to your doctor and try to figure out what fertility issues you're having. But I attribute us getting pregnant so quick to that book, so definitely check it out. So I found out I was pregnant in late September, and everything was good up until like about 10 weeks, and then of course the morning sickness started, and I knew I was gonna have morning sickness. I knew like early pregnancy is not glamorous at all, but I never expected that it would be that bad. I literally wound up in the hospital twice within a 4-month period from dehydration because I was throwing up so much. And it wasn't because I was trying to force things down, you know, because you're supposed to eat healthy and try to, you know, eat healthy for you and your kids so your body can provide all the nutrients it needs to your unborn baby. But I was literally living on mashed potatoes. I couldn't even stomach cereal. I couldn't stomach milk. I still can't really stomach orange juice. Like, it was just really bad. So I was living off of mashed potatoes, and thank God for Jeff, because if I was a single mother, I wouldn't have survived. So that was something that was really unexpected. Once again, I knew that I was going to have morning sickness, but not to the extent I had it. When I was trying to get pregnant, or I should say when we were trying to get pregnant, of course I watched a whole bunch of pregnancy videos here on YouTube, and no one had talked about how dramatic those first 3 months can be. For me, my morning sickness lasted into month 5, I would say. Of course, it declined in severity, but like I said, week 10 up until that 5th month was And nobody had talked about that in their video, so definitely take that into account if you are trying to get pregnant or you are currently pregnant. If you are having really bad if you're having really bad morning sickness, been there, done that. The doctor tried to put me on Zofran, I think it's called, and that just made my nausea worse. It's supposed to be an anti-nausea medication, but the side effects could include migraine, which happened to me. And when my head hurts, my stomach just starts roiling. So I wasn't even able to take any Zofran. I looked up some other, things that could help, like I think it was a sleeping aid mixed with like a vitamin B pill. I can't remember. I'll leave it down in the description box. I'll look it up. But I tried that too. Nothing helped. So all I could do was basically live off ice chips and mashed potatoes for about 4 months. And as you can probably guess, this definitely affected how I went to work and how many times I was able to go to work in a week. So once again, if you are a woman who has a career, definitely take that into account when you are planning your pregnancy, because it can definitely take a toll. So since I was throwing up so much within the first 5 months of my pregnancy, I actually lost 15 pounds. No one knew I was pregnant because I was losing so much weight. People thought I had gone on a diet or something, but I lost 15 pounds, but I gained it all back, of course. But those first 5 months were terrible. But yeah, so after 5 months, everything was going pretty well. I was in the middle of my second trimester and I was feeling a lot better, but then my skin started breaking out, and it wasn't just like little breakouts here and there. I was looking like straight up 16 again, and that was very, very annoying because I take a great deal of care when taking care of my skin. I take a lot of pride in it. And then when, you start breaking out and you're doing everything that you can to prevent the breakouts, it just doesn't work because you're pregnant. It's not up to you anymore. It's up to your hormones. So I didn't get put on medicine for my breakouts because that's just vanity. And my OB said that they would go away, which they did, but I did end up getting a lot of scarring from that period of my pregnancy. So I've been using a lot of Too Cool for School masks to try to diminish the scarring that I have and to make sure that I keep my face hydrated, because also during my pregnancy I have been super dry. It doesn't matter how much water I drink, everything is dry all the time. So that was another thing that I encountered during my pregnancy. So you might want to look out for that. And now that I'm in the latter part of my pregnancy and I'm about to pop, the only thing that is really annoying is all of the pain. So once your baby's, obviously it's growing, they're growing a lot, especially during the 3rd trimester. You can definitely feel the weight piling on. Like during my 1st trimester to the middle of the 2nd, like I said, I had lost weight. Well, from then on, it started piling back on and gaining, I think I gained about 20 pounds after I had already gained that 15 back for this pregnancy. And I was already overweight to begin with, so that definitely played a part on my self-esteem. I did consider myself to be nicely shaped, but of course that does go out the window when you start having a baby bump. And in your 3rd trimester, when the bump is there, it's real, there's no denying it. You just keep getting on that scale every 3 weeks when you go to your OB, and you just see the numbers going up and up and up. At least I did. I don't know if that's true for every pregnant woman. I'm sure there's people out there that don't gain a lot of weight, but I was one of the people that gained a significant amount of weight, and it definitely started taking a toll on my self-esteem. So that's one of the things no one ever talks about when you get pregnant, especially during the latter part of your pregnancy. No one talks about how not only hormones, but just watching your body change so much, how much it affects your mood, I mean, how you think of yourself, you know, just things like that. So I will say I wasn't like depressed, but I will say I was a lot more aware of how I looked, and that definitely played a part in my mood. So for later pregnancy, besides the weight gain, we have to talk about swelling. So I hadn't been swollen up until maybe the beginning of May. I'm not sure if it's because the weather has gotten so warm so quickly, or if it's just part of being pregnant, but my hands and feet, I have cankles now, like straight up cankles. If I'm standing too long, or if I'm sitting too long, or if my hands fall below my heart, they just swell up like little piglets. It's kind of disgusting, honestly. So, and there's no way to get around it. You can wear compression socks, those do help, but the fluid retention is real. And I know some of the things I had read say that if you drink more water, you can reduce your fluid retention. But of course, the more water you drink, the more you have to pee. And then when you have a baby that is, right now I think she's like 7.5 pounds. When you have a baby inside of you resting right on your bladder, peeing is a big deal. Like before I was pregnant, you know, I have to pee, but I can hold it for like an hour. When you're pregnant, you have to pee. I mean, obviously people talk about, you know, having to use a restroom a lot, but no one ever talks about leakage. Yes, I'm going to talk about leakage. There have been times where I've peed myself just a little bit. So, at the beginning of my 3rd trimester, when it was becoming like an issue, especially with all the weight gain, I did start wearing, well, I am still wearing, bladder control pads, because I was ruining a lot of underwear with, you know, leakage basically. You can't really hold it if your baby moves and she's right on that bladder. It's going to come out. It may not come out like in a gush, but you can ruin underwear and pairs of pants from that. I know from experience. It's embarrassing to say, yes, I'm a grown woman and I have peed myself. All right, so that's it for the talking about the pregnancy portion. Hopefully someone out there has, you know, I helped someone out there. So now I'm going to show you the nursery. So this is the nursery. When you first walk in, there's the bed. All right. So when you first, those are my shoes on the floor. So when you first walk in, this is the crib off to your left. And the walls I decided to do fuzzy duck yellow, because I know I'm having a girl, but I've never been really into pink. So I didn't want to have a really like pink room, but I think yellow is really great, especially because there's 2 big windows in this room, and it definitely helps brighten the room a lot without having to turn the lights on. So this crib was actually used. One of my mother-in-law's friends' daughters decided to give this to us because she was not using it anymore. And it's a really, really nice crib. And it also is a crib kit. So as your baby gets older, you can turn it into a toddler bed and a full-size bed, I believe. And this is just a big stuffed elephant. I haven't given him a name yet, but he's just sitting on a couch right there, or on a little sofa thing right there. I plan on obviously moving the elephant and maybe breastfeeding or pumping in here. When Adelaide does come, at the beginning I'm not going to have her in a crib. There's actually a bassinet in Jeff and my bedroom, so she will not be sleeping in here for the first 6 weeks. But when we do decide to put her in a crib, I'm probably just going to be sitting there breastfeeding and pumping. And I have decided to breastfeed not only for her health, but because it's a lot cheaper. Baby formula is ridiculous. This is a changing table. And on the shelves below, there's 2 bathtubs. I got 2, well, a majority of this stuff we got at our baby shower, but the bathtub on the top I bought because it has mesh in it. And I decided I wanted a mesh bathtub because I was thinking if Adelaide decides to poop or pee during the bath, I don't want her swimming in her own waste. So the mesh will help. If she pees, the pee will go through the mesh, and if she poops, you know, you could just squish it down in there, and she won't basically be sitting in her own waste. And then these are some washcloths. They're super, super soft. And then on the bottom is for when she gets bigger. This is just a classic bathtub that doesn't have any mesh or anything, but it does have a drain. And then this is the gray carpet. So the theme was obviously elephants. You can see all these stuffed animals. There's a lot of elephants, but the color scheme was gray and yellow. Gray and yellow, pardon me. So this is an old entertainment system that Jeff used to have at his parents' house. And I've just converted it into basically a place to put her blankets. There's a random container over there that I'll probably stack diapers in. This is a diaper bag and a few things here that we got at the baby shower. Breast flanges, I think that's how you pronounce them. Basically the things that you put on your boob when you're pumping. And then this is a bouncer right here. On the top shelf, there's a whole bunch of basically random baby stuff, a lot of stuffed animals. This we got from my OB. This is just in case for some reason I can't breastfeed. These are samples of, what do you say? These are samples of baby formula. And these are breast pads, soothing breast pads, because when you're breastfeeding, obviously all that suction and stimulation is going to have an effect on your nipples. So these are supposed to help heal your nipples so they're not dry, cracked, and bleeding. And this right here was a diaper cake from my baby shower that my mother-in-law put together for me. She planned the baby shower and everything. And this is just a diaper cake. So not only is it super, super adorable, but these are all size 2 diapers. So when Adelaide is big enough to wear a size 2, we will have, you know, additional diapers that we can take from this diaper cake. Some of the stuff right here I've sorted. These are some of the clothes that we got from the baby shower. So when she gets here, we are going to have pictures taken, of course. I did not have any maternity pictures taken because like I said, I'm really self-conscious about my weight gain and basically how I look. But when she's here, of course, I'm going to be taking like so many pictures, is going to be ridiculous. So we have this little tutu set right here in silver, and then there's a little ladybug set right here. Then we just have some plaques here that we got at the baby shower. You can write on them in chalk. And so when she comes out, we'll be writing down how much she is. And, you know, as the months progress, we can change it. This right here was recommended that I get from one of the women I had talked to that recently had her baby. It's a essential oil diffuser. Now she uses 2 kinds of scents. I can't remember, but I'm going to be using lavender. And I'm only going to be using lavender because I do have cats. So some essential oils are not good for animals, but lavender is okay for cats to inhale too. So lavender obviously is going to be helping her sleep when we do decide to put her in here at night. And of course, more blankets. Now we're about to be in summer, so we're not going to get a whole lot of use out of these blankets right now, but when winter hits, Since there are 2 big windows in here, it probably will be getting a little cold. She will be around, I believe, 6 to 7 months when November, December hit, so it's not like she'll be a newborn anymore, but these blankets will definitely come in handy then. And then, of course, I have more breastfeeding supplies. These are breast bags, breast milk storage bags, so you can pump your milk and store them in these bags and then put them in the freezer. I got those from Babies R Us while they are shutting down. Some of the stuff that they had was on sale. This is a present I got from my baby shower, and it's a little remedies kit. It's basically things that help, you know, everyday issues you might have, like butt paste, of course, is for diaper rash. They have a fever reducer, gas relief drops, things like that. If they get something in their eye, there's a saline drop. So that's gonna come in handy. And then we have a swing right here that hasn't been put together yet. I'm probably gonna give that to my mother-in-law so she can have it at her house when she decides to take Adelaide for a few hours. She has something to put her in. These right here are just letters I had picked up from Babies R Us. They spell out Adelaide's name, but instead of putting up these big letters, we ended up having these little letters put up on this rail right here. So the big letters, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but whatever. And then we have a pack and play. We have so many things to put her in. So they're also in boxes because, you know, pack and plays are nice and everything, but, you know, sometimes you don't use them. So that's why that's still in a box. And then this is Jeff's old toy chest from when he was a little kid. And we just have books on here. Then we have some baby shampoos and lotions. This is Sleepy Time baby shampoo right there. Here is a white noise maker for when she comes out. Well, not right when she's newborn, but when, like I said, when we decide to put her in the nursery in her crib, she'll have some white noise. And then more stuffed animals, of course. And then basically a whole bunch of random stuff. This I bought for the car seat. We have one car right now, but we're going to be buying another car. So when we get the second car seat, this will be a little cuddler. Basically, if your baby's too small for the car seat, it makes, you know, it has this little cushion that you can put your baby in, and they won't be, you know, jousted around in a car seat that's too big for them. And then, of course, all these little shoes and socks in here. That's what's in here. And then more random baby toys and stuff. And that's what's down in here. This is a My Breast Friend pillow that's for nursing. I also have one in Jeff and my bedroom. And then just random hanging stuff right here. And then in the closet, we have, you know, our stockpile of diapers. Of course, this is going to get bigger. This is just preliminary diapers we have right now. If you do decide to have a baby shower, let people know you need diapers and wipes, because obviously clothes are nice and everything, but diapers you're gonna always need. Clothes babies grow out of. But these, this kid has a well put together closet already. These are clothes that we got from our baby shower, also ones that Jeff and I bought from Once Upon a Child here in Saginaw. So we have so many clothes. Some people got us stuff for like 18-month-olds. Like, it's ridiculous. She has so many clothes. These are also full of clothes, as you can see. So this little girl already has a very well-stocked closet, and she's not even born yet. And then these right here are infinity scarves. So I'm going to be using these if I need to go out in public with her and she needs to be fed. So it basically looks like a stylish scarf like that, but it folds out into, you know, a cover so you can breastfeed in public without offending anybody. And that's basically the nursery. That right there, of course, is a stroller. And yeah. Okay guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up and press the subscribe button down in the description box so you don't miss any more content from me. And when Adelaide does decide to make her grand entrance, no, I'm not going to be having a labor vlog. I think, in my personal opinion, I think labor is one of those really intimate things that I personally don't want to share with everybody. But when we do bring her home, of course, I'll introduce you and show you my beautiful little girl, because I can't think of one other thing that I can honestly say I'm going to be prouder of than my daughter when she decides to come into the world. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!